It has been a crazy 4 seasons here since Schalke's financial meltdown sent the club down to Germany's Division 3, but we finally fought our way back to the Bundesliga off the back of our amazing real-life academy players last time out. So now we face the future and push on to keep this team going, and the question remains, can we take Schalke back to its former glory here in Germany?
Guten Tag Schalke fans, Brooke here. Welcome back to the Bundesliga. Can't wait to score some goals this season.
Hey, what's going on guys? Respect the Jeff here. Huge shout out to Brooke for getting involved with this one, and hopefully we'll get the best from him again here in the Bundesliga. But the team gets straight to work here in the offseason, signing some pre-contract additions to the squad thanks to our tough financial situation. First up, Felix Passlack. He's actually a big Schalke supporter in real life, despite playing for Dortmund for so many seasons, and he should help shore up our defense. We also grabbed Bredlow, the goalkeeper, on a pre-contract to challenge Dan Rose for that starting spot between the sticks. So we've already got 2 signings here without having to pay a transfer fee, which is a huge help. But another huge addition to this team is going to be the loanees coming back to look to make an impression after having some good spells out. There's several players getting involved with the team here in preseason who we haven't seen much from just yet. But as we've come to know so far, the Youth Academy always provides here for Schalke in this save. Aaron Ozat among them, who slips through Marvin Duksch to open our scoring here in preseason. What a perfectly weighted pass. He's honestly one that wasn't on my radar at all until coming into this game, but Aaron Ozat is an absolutely unbelievable young player, again showing his perfection there with the pass weighted through for Marvin Duksch, who returns the favor to give it back. A goal and an assist on his debut here for Schalke. He did really well out on loan this season, and with performances like this, he's looking to secure a spot in the team here. Brooke almost makes it 3 with a great breakaway opportunity, but he can't quite find the back of the net, but it's a good start. Second game of preseason, it's a bit of a heated one here as we take on Norwich, taking on a bunch of English teams here in preseason. It's star central midfielder Bozdogan who's taken out with a horrible challenge. He manages to carry on and set up Evan Rotundo, who bangs in a fantastic goal. Excellent close control, great dribbling. He is really becoming a super well-rounded central midfielder for us. Norwich, it's just too easy there with the defense again to equalize, and we find ourselves on level terms. Sidi Sane super unlucky off the post, but he continues to look a threat like he did at the tail end of last season. However, 82 minutes in, Ardi Mufundu with a big mistake at the back. And unfortunately for him, it has not been a great run over the last couple seasons. He's been given a few chances, never seems to capitalize, so he's promptly sent back out on loan to keep trying to develop in the meantime. Even worse news, though, is the fact that Bozdogan has broken his toe. He's going to be out for 3 months before this season even starts. And we get to our third game here without Bozdogan there in the midfield. Fortunately, we have so many people looking to make an impression. Among them is Michael Maiden, who steps up from the academy to make his debut for Schalke and again assists Marvin Duksch, who seems to do a great job of getting on the end of our youth players' crosses to finish off moves. But Marvin Duksch again returns the favor for Michael Maiden, who's clean through on goal and the composure to finish. It's another lovely debut from one of our central midfielders here. Between Aaron Ozat and Michael Maiden, I think we have 2 really great picks. Maiden, though, picks up a second assist with an unbelievable little dink over the top. Marvin Duksch has a really great awareness and strength there to hold off his man and finish the move off. It's a really well done game again from Schalke here in preseason. We're seeing the best from not only our usual players, but some of the youth as well. And although we do concede, it's a great overall performance. Still preseason, still plenty of times to tighten things up, and on we go. The youth continues to impress here with Aaron Ozat cracking another shot from distance, but the game fairly dry ends 0-0 in the end. We're going to penalties here in preseason. Felix Passlack steps up to take his first, and unfortunately it is saved by the goalkeeper. It's a bit of a rough one. Brooke also sees his saved, and we take it all the way to the captain Hugo Hawkins getting denied. 1 from 5. We'll get that one out of our systems early, I guess, but still a lot of positives to take here from preseason as we move on. Alright, so before we hit the transfer market once again, it's time to take a look at our existing squad and who are the ones to watch this season. First up, it's Michael Madden, comes fresh out of the academy at 68 overall, and he's looking to make a run here in the first team. Really talented player. We also have Aaron Ozat, who obviously had a fantastic preseason and could easily be depth here for one of those central midfield spots. Dennis Milic, another one coming back from loan at 70 overall. He had an unbelievable last season, went from barely even being a thought to being a feature in the squad here as a rotational option at center back. And then finally, Lucas Korytowski, who we unfortunately injured via Aliyu tackle at the end of last season, is back in the squad and ready to show what he's got after a successful loan spell last time out. Thanks to all of those new players, as well as a couple others, we got new in-game faces for Anu Bodem, Hawkins, Duksh, gets the new ponytail, Sane, Michael Maiden, and obviously the rest of the players here, Ozat, Dennis Milic, and Korytowski, who isn't quite featured here just yet as he recovers from injury, but here are all of the faces. Everyone in the squad currently has a real in-game face. I'm really excited about that, and I hope that it adds to the realism of this career as we move on. And we do exactly that. Starting to get to the start of the season here in the Bundesliga, it's going to be a tough one, and already some of our players being linked away. Marvin Duksh, after having an unbelievable season last year in Division 2, is being targeted by plenty of teams. Ajax among them coming in with a big offer, but I think it's really important here that we hang on to all of our players regardless of the price. We'll see what happens after this season, but we need to do everything we can to survive, and I'm not about to give up our number one striker and allow that to happen. But it's a bit of a tough situation right now. Schalke's still struggling financially despite the promotion. We're going to have to be frugal here. For those of you who remember, Benedict Howades has come in, and he is our director of football who's going to be helping us make some of these transfer deals happen. And I'm excited to announce the first of them is Amadou Onana, a player in real life who's starting to get a lot of buzz around him. Unfortunately, 4 seasons in the future in this career mode save, he hasn't really started to fill his potential out yet. He just got relegated against the Hamburg side, actually, that we took down at the tail end of last season. You can see him in some of these highlights here. A really promising player still, despite his career having stalled a little bit, and we're here to help revitalize it. We got a bit of a bargain here thanks to the team being relegated, so hopefully this will prove to be a good deal in time. We also managed to sign Goran Stankovic, a center back by trade, but he can play defensive midfield. He'll look to be a like-for-like replacement here for Griesbeck, who is aging in our squad for that defensive midfield starting position. And the team's starting to look really deep at this point. 2 new signings coming in on top of the 2 pre-contracts, and we look ahead to our first game versus Mainz here, the opener in the Bundesliga. This is going to be a big test for us. We gave them a real run in the German Cup at the end of last season, only to be taken down in extra time by Maximilian Philipp, who's a huge danger man up top, and we're going to have to deal with that again here as we take them on, this time in a league game that matters so much to this team. Going into this one, we're going to head out a little more defensive than usual. Griesbeck and Stankovic, both defensive mids, going to be starting this one as we test the waters here in the Bundesliga. I don't want to go out and get ripped apart in our first game. Obviously, we'd go with the 4-3-3 with more of an inverted role usually and try to control possession. But we're going to sit back in this one, change our game plan just a little bit as we get a feel for the level of competition and see where this team stands. And we go into this game with all eyes on the Bundesliga kicking off. Here we go. Schalke make their return. Let's get to it. Alright, the boys are out and we are ready for this one. It's been 4 long seasons in the making. All of our youth players starting to hit their stride here and start to fulfill potential as we really start to build a formidable side here. We have so many solid players and it's really all eyes on whether Schalke can stay up or not this season. Mainz have a really potent attack and we get a taste of that here with them bombing forwards. And the Schalke team sitting deep in the box and dealing with the pressure so far, but unfortunately we have yet to flex our offensive muscles much at all in this game. 15 minutes into the match, Mohammed in the box, and it's a lovely save from new goalkeeper Bredlow, who starts between the sticks for this one as we start to feel out whether Dan Rose is ready for this level of competition or not, but eventually Maximilian Philipp comes back to bite us once again. This guy is so difficult to contain and eventually slices his way through our defense with an unbelievable shot driven into the top corner. It's going to be a rarity to see any goalkeeper in the world saving an effort like that. We find ourselves a goal down, and going into halftime, this is not the Schalke we've come to know and love. 38% of the ball It's clear something's gotta give. I am not happy to sit back and lose while playing defensive. We're going back to our usual formation. We're not gonna sit back anymore. Let's try the high press. Let's try the system we've been using for the last season or two, and I really think we should at least give it a go if we're gonna go out with a loss. Let's at least say we tried. Eric Tommy definitely turning the tides here already in the second half here. Schalke, Fabian coming on as a little bit more of an offensive outlet, and we're starting to find our groove here. Not quite coming off for us, but at least a little bit of the ball and starting to dominate possession. And if I'm being perfectly honest, this is probably how we should have started the game regardless. Evan Rotunda with a crack from distance. We have yet to test the goalkeeper too much, but it's been better from Schalke, although a little ball out over the top finds us out, and Bredlow unable to make the save at the near post. It's 2 goals, Phillips scoring once again, and that probably puts the game to bed, unfortunately. So it's a loss in our first game. A couple of talking points here. I think we got to tinker around with the team a little bit, so we take those points, and on we go. Alright, well, we knew it's going to be a tough season, but we've made a commitment now. We're going to stick to our attacking philosophy. I want to play like teams that come up. I mean, we've seen it in England, Leeds United, Norwich City coming up, playing really attacking after being freshly promoted. And even if we get ripped apart defensively in some of these games, it's a risk I'm willing to take. We're building a team based off of this philosophy here, and I'm not going to concede that just to play defensive unless things start going awful. We'll see how we go, though. So we're sticking with the 4-3-3. Aaron Ozat gets a start with Bozdoğan still out injured. And with that said, let's get to it. All right, here we go. The team ready for our second game. If we're going to win any of these games, it's got to be against teams like this. Dusseldorf, one of the other teams freshly promoted this season. We've had really good results against them in the past, and honestly, I think if we're going to get results against anyone in the league, it's got to be against some of the other relegation-bound teams. Not only because it's the easiest on paper to win, but the fact that we'll be battling with them for relegation spots means that any head-to-head points we get will matter here. So we start off, like I said, with that attacking game plan in mind. It's worked, obviously, over the course of last season. A lot more difficult it's going to be to play against some of the top teams. But against teams like Dusseldorf, I think it's definitely within our rights to try to play this way and get attacking-minded results, because we've seen it work before, and I don't see any reason why this season wouldn't be different. The high press is starting to catch them out. A couple opportunities, almost winning the ball up high up the pitch rather than sitting back like we did in the first half of last game. The risk we run is getting caught out. We see a couple opportunities there on the counterattack, but fortunately, we're able to maintain the clean sheet so far. It's just going to be great if we could find a goal to top off this performance so far. But we're at least controlling the tempo, dictating the run of play, and creating some good opportunities in the process. Evan Rotundo dinking some balls over the top. You feel like it's just a matter of time at this point before someone gets on the end of it as we go into the second half. Dusseldorf definitely going to have something to say about that, though, looking to open up our back line a little bit. But Stankovic is doing exactly what we signed him to do, breaking up play and providing that little bit of extra defensive cover sitting in front of our back line. It's been good from Schalke so far, but again, unable to find the back of the net. You just get the feeling that this game might be a one of slim margins, whichever team can manage to sneak one through to find the back of the net. And out of nowhere, Hugo Hawkins getting forwards. How has he done that, and what is he doing up there? We'll take it from the captain. He made a bombing run all the way up the pitch, and it's fantastic to pick him out there from Dux. What a finish, though. If any of our strikers hit that, I would be going on and on about it, and especially considering the fact that it was our star center back and captain to make it extra special. Really gets the job done here. Aaron Ozat having a good performance here, really fitting into midfield, having a bit of a quiet game in terms of offensive output, but really so is the rest of the team, and he's helping us dictate play just a little bit here. Stankovic ball over the top. It's been great from Schalke in terms of our movement sequences and looking to open space up. Philip Oakes cracks one from distance, not too far off, and we continue to pile on pressure. Looking for a second here. Marvin Duksch moving the ball around. Very comfortable here, Schalke, and if things go according to plan, we will be seeing this one out to a 1-0 victory. Maybe even 2 here as Stankovic chips one over the top for Ozat. It's been great from our midfield so far. We just got to make sure we don't concede anything late here. Paslak not messing around. Maybe a little foul, but the whistle eventually blows. We see it out. 3 huge points in only our second game in charge. That is a big, big morale boost for Schalke. Lovely performance from everybody involved. We love to see it. This is exactly what we need, and on we go. Alright, well, after a good couple performances here, Aaron Ozat has drawn attention from clubs looking to take him on loan, in this case actually loan to buy. But he's an important player for us. I love what I saw in preseason. He could really be an important player in this squad. Definitely not a starter at the moment, but especially with Bozdogan injured, he's going to get minutes, and he's looked good in the minutes he's gotten so far. Next up, it's a much tougher matchup for us. Werder Bremen, our next opponents, a back five that could be very hard to break down, so I'm going to look a little elsewhere in the squad to see what we can do here between Ozat and Onana. Not sure exactly who gets the start here. Onana obviously more defensive-minded, still yet to make his debut. I'm going to take some time integrating some of these newer signings who are a little more for the future than the immediate term. So for now, I'm going to give Ozat the start. I think Stankovic is going to keep starting there as the defensive spot. Onana maybe coming off the bench this time. The change I will make, though, is Igel Brook coming on. I think we need definitely an eye for goal against that back five opposed to Sane, who also might come off the bench to help with his pace later in the game. But with that said, this is the lineup we go into our next game with. Can we get another win out of this one? Only time will tell. Let's get to it. Alright, here we go. Third game in charge. And if the first two are anything to go by, this team is in decent shape, although our one win did come against Dusseldorf, which on paper is the weakest team, alongside us probably in the division. So it's going to be a lot easier said than done to avoid relegation this year, but I think the lads are up for it. The team has looked really sharp so far, and honestly, it's only going to get better. So many young players who are going to continue to develop, and at this level, the kind of experience they can get over the course of one Bundesliga season hopefully is enough to really round out some of the edges of our game here, although it's going to be a really tough road ahead of us. A ball that splits both of our center backs finds its way into the back of the net with a lovely finish around the goalkeeper, and again, this is the kind of pressure we're going to face here. I mean, I don't necessarily want to drop us back to a super defensive formation, but it's going to be tough with the attacking firepower in the Bundesliga to keep clean sheets, and we're going to have to rely on the offense to have some sort of output here against teams that are significantly better than what we've faced in the past. But like I said, we're trying to build this philosophy here. You can see our ability to play out from the back is not bad at all. It's just kind of in the final third that we are struggling more, especially against a team like this that parks it at the back with those back five. And honestly, all the pressure's been on us. Regardless, it's hard to even get out of our own half. Some decent passing, but that final ball seems to let us down every time, and the ball continually heading back in our defensive area. Fortunately, a couple good chances there. Stankovic has been a fantastic player to break up play, as well as a lot of our other central midfielders, Rotundo making the tackle in that instance. We just got to get a little bit of quality here out of the players in our attacking third, and just as I say that, here goes Pastlak in a crossing area looking to put a ball in, and he can't curl it quite around the defender. The first great chance of our game comes off a header there. Igel Brook sends it off the uprights, and Ardner Aliou unable to convert from point blank. Oh, that really could have been a goal there for Schalke, but it remains a what if. It can't find its way into the back of the net. And again, we find ourselves down 1 goal. Throwing subs at it, Onana makes his debut. Sane coming on with fresh legs. Let's see if someone can't shake it up here for Schalke. But Werder Bremen still on the attack here and looking for more to put this game to bed late in the match. Lovely tackle from Ardner Aliou. How about that? But the pressure continues to mount here. Lovely slid ball through, and fortunately the goalkeeper's there to make the save. He's really hit the ground running here, and with Dan Rose still looking to find his way back into the side, it's going to be a tough one with our current goalkeeper performing so well. CD Sane curls one in. Can we convert? Oh, Igel Brook not too far off at all. That's what we put him on for, to come in off the wing and create a little bit of danger playing on that wider position. And that's 2 great chances he's had, a couple inches in front of him in that case, and the other one was off the crossbar. But that's the way the game's seen out here. 1-0, we see defeat. It's a valiant effort here from the Royal Blues, but unfortunately it wasn't enough this time out. Marvin Duksch left without many chances at all in that game, but we keep our heads up, and on we go. Alright, well, it's transfer deadline day. I think most of our business is done at this point. The one thing I think we still need to consider is a third goalkeeper, just for a little bit of squad depth. So we find him in the free agents. Engelhardt, someone can correct me if that didn't come off right, but he'll be our third goalkeeper for the remainder of the season. I don't know if he'll get many minutes, but he's an experienced head who's now in the locker room, and just on the off chance that we see some injuries to either Rose or new signing Bredlow, he will be there to make up the difference. So next up, we take on Frankfurt, which could be a very, very difficult match for us. So we're going to stick with more or less the same lineup we've seen, although Onana is going to start in midfield this time. I think we need that defensive presence. Igel Brook again on the wing. Let's get to it. All right, here we go. One of the tougher sides in the division. Eintracht Frankfurt is not an easy side to play at all, especially for a side battling relegation this season the way we are. So we've set up, like I said, a little more defensively for this one. Onana's going to be the man to kind of hold down midfield, another big, strong presence who can kind of break up play. But I'll look to see a little more from Igel Brook, who again starts on the wing, came close twice last game, and this time he converts under 10 minutes into the match. Cool as you like in front of goal. Evan Rotundo, lovely little back heel, and the composure to find him. And then Igel Brooks stands up the goalkeeper and the center back and just calmly places it into the corner. How about that? Well, it's his first goal of the season. Took him a while to get up and running, but that's the Igel Brook that we've come to know and love, and he'll continue to grow over time here as we've been patient with his development in this career, and he has paid it back so far with plenty of goals for this team. But we're finding ourselves on the back foot here as Frankfurt push on. Fortunately, the defense remains strong. I mean, we've actually seen a pretty good showing here from the defense so far, and Onana slides through Evan Rotundo, who's clean through in space, continues his run. Can he find the return? Yes! Amadou Onana on his first full start here for Schalke grabs a goal, and he is playing out of his mind. Lovely stuff. He's all over the pitch. He was the one to release the initial pass. He was the one to get back on the end of it, and that is great play. We find ourselves 2 goals up here, and I gotta say, probably against the run of play. We've had 2 chances and 2 goals, but definitely not the majority of possession, that's for sure. We're trying to defend for our lives back here. But again, Amadou Onana breaking up play, and we love to see it. Eric Tommy now on the wing. And Schalke really looking sharp, especially when needed. I mean, we're definitely not going to control games like we're used to, but how about that? Onana again, inch-perfect pass, and Eric Tommy gets back on the end of the cross from Paslak. We love to see this kind of play. Schalke looking up for this one, and 2 goals up, you got to say, game's definitely in our favor at this point. Some crunching challenges flying in here in the second half as we look desperately to maintain our 2-goal lead. And the defense remains resolute. Aliou with a crunching challenge, and then Stankovic brings his man down. That's definitely a foul. Play continues, though. Probably going to be called back for a card if we're being realistic, but we'll take that. I think a rough and tumble central defensive midfielder is exactly what we needed, and Stankovic gets on the end of a better cross at the end of that move. And we continue to hold on here. Paslak has really slotted in at right back. Unfortunately, that means Campanile has been on the bench, but whatever keeps the team getting results at this point in time, and Paslak definitely has been a great signing so far for us. We continue to hang on here, some clever passing through from Frankfurt, but again, we stand them up. Hugo Hawkins leading the charge in a double block there. Everyone throwing their bodies on the line. You'll love to see the passion from the team. Another clever pass almost finds its way through, but again, Paslak the man to get back and cover there, and now we're on the break just like that. Amadou Onana, can he slip through some kind of pass? Lovely, well done to find Rotundo in the return pass. Onana, surely not, 1-on-1 with the keeper, and he sends it wide. Well, he's not necessarily known for his finishing, Onana, and it is called back there. Stankovic is called back for the yellow card. And we maintain our 2-goal lead still with 15 minutes left. Shots from outside the box flying in with regularity. Bredlow stands him up, though. He has been excellent, the goalkeeper, and we continue to just defend in our box with numbers. Another shot comes in, and it's just wide. Frankfurt definitely giving it their all, but so far the defense has been up to it, although eventually the high press catches us out trying to play out from the back, and it's a big mistake there from Aliou, who gives it away and unfortunately pulls the game just 1 goal closer. Thankfully, not enough time for them to make a full comeback. That was a tense one, but we get another win. Who would have thought 2 wins from our opening 4 is not bad at all, especially for a team in the kind of shape we are. It's been lovely stuff from the team. Onana, we love to see it from the new signing, and everyone contributing so far in this season. All right, well, it's been a fantastic start, if I'm being honest, and thankfully, Bozdoğan's injury not too bad. He was out for a couple weeks there, not quite as bad as the initial 3 months given, and he has made at least a partial recovery. I don't know if we'll throw him right back into the starting lineup, but definitely a good option to have coming back. He's one of our better players in the entire side. And honestly, the team doing well overall as well. 10th place right now after 4 games played. The games are going to come hot and fast, though. I'm going to hit the ground running next episode with plenty. In the meantime, if you guys want to get more involved, feel free to join my Discord. It's free. Check out the link in the description. It's been so much fun getting feedback on the signings and things like that. Also, if you've been enjoying this series in general, consider subscribing to the channel. It helps me out a lot, or at least just comment on the video or drop a like. I only post once a week, and the YouTube algorithm definitely punishes me for that, but this is just a hobby for me. It's been fun to do as a side thing, but I just can't find the time to do that more often. Hopefully, though, I'm giving you guys good enough content that this can continue to grow and is being enjoyed by the fans. So if you've been enjoying this, do me a favor, just get active and drive some of the engagement on these. So I'll be back soon with next episode in this Schalke series, but until then, I'm Respect the Jeff, and I'll see you next time.